Alright guys, today we have a tail rotor inspection. So we'll be going over some of the stuff I did on the tail boom, here on the tail gearbox, and other inspection items that I did on the blades. So right now I'm doing a torque check on all those 8 bolts that you're seeing of the extension tail boom and the 4 bolts that connect the gearbox to the tail boom. So right now I'm just checking the torque stripe, making sure nothing was broken, and chipping away all the old stuff, because whenever I put my wrench on there, it gets in the way. So I'm chipping that away with the scribe, and then putting my wrench and loosening up these 4 bolts here on the extension. So after I loosen those 4 bolts, I'm gonna check the drag torque of each individual nut. So this is a little drag torque measuring tool. So all you want to do is loosen the bolt up a little bit, and then in one continuous motion you're going to get a reading of how much torque you're producing there on the measurement tool. So I'm just doing it again just to make sure I confirm my drag torque, because once we get that drag torque, we are going to add that to the normal torque that's described in the manual. So here's my torque wrench. I'm just double checking that I have the correct measurement as prescribed in the manual, not just tightening it to whatever I want. Tightening it to what the manual says, plus the drag torque. I go ahead and in the future write down the drag torque and add it to the normal torque measurement. But right now I'm torquing down all those four nuts and bolts, going all the way around, making sure everything's tight. And I'm a double click type of guy. Okay, I've seen people triple check their torque on the torque wrench and do 3 clicks. I'm more of a two and go type of guy on my torque wrench. All right, 1, I don't know. I could have had a little mess up there, so I just want to double check it. But 3, you can do 3. It's just too much for me. So for here on the back nuts, I had to hold the bolt on the other side with the wrench. So it's just the same thing here, making sure I'm holding the wrench still while applying my torque wrench, and I'm just going around all 4 bolts. I'm here going clockwise. All these are pretty easy to torque down. I recommend getting the extendo there for the nuts, but everything's pretty easy to get to. That rounded end of the torque wrench can get in the way and touch the gearbox if you're not careful. But if you're keeping everything straight, that round end of the torque wrench shouldn't be touching the gearbox. So here I'm writing the torque, that torque measurement that I got, just as a future reference to what it was when I took it. So when I go back in the future and look back, I know what it was, and I can measure what the change was in the future. So after the extension torques, we kind of get into the meat and potatoes of this whole anti-torque system here. So you can see PCRs there, you see blades, you see retaining keys, you see swash plates, you see rubber boots, and we're going to go ahead and check all of that, right? So we want to touch everything, make sure nothing's loose. Make sure those nuts are loose. I'm touching the pitch control rods there. Those can wear out and will wear out over time, so you do want to check the play in there, see if there's any play. There's a certain amount of play that's allowable, but there is a point where it can't be exceeded. So I'm just going ahead and make sure I touch everything, make sure nothing's loose. I can move those blades back and forth. They're meant to do that. They have elastomeric bearings to help bring the rotor or the tail blades back to center. Here checking the PCRs on the back side, and I can push in on that bell crank that goes through the tail boom. It can do that. You'll hear a little bit of squeaking, but from what I've heard through all MDs, if you push on that, there's going to be some squeaking all the way through the tail boom. It's just how it is, but there is nothing binding. So I go ahead and just keep looking, look with my flashlight, see if there's anything else, checking if that retaining key lost its torque stripe there. and I'm just checking for small cracks or anything that'll make this inspection unairworthy. You see the reflective tape there at the base of the blade, and you can rotate these blades by hand. There's a clutch that allows you to free turn these blades, so it won't harm anything. You can go ahead and spin it. So I'm just checking the amount of play I can go back and forth on the blades here, making sure everything is okay. See if that flap stopper, that rubber flat stop, is wearing out, and you'll get a better view of it if you move the blades side to side, as I did earlier here, checking the rivets, make sure nothing's loose, nothing's corroded, checking here the internals. Continue the inspection, like you're gonna have to remove the boot, but this is just for demonstration purposes. This whole video, I go ahead and do all that stuff with the camera off. Just don't want to be distracted while filming. But I'm just getting you guys a view of the inspection here of the tail rotor here on the helicopter side. Alright, so that does it for this video. If you like this or helicopters or other aviation maintenance, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. If you like helicopters, this channel is just for you. I'll go ahead and post more aviation content here in the future, so stay tuned for that.